Closing night of the Chicago International Film Festival. Thank you so much for coming to our city.
So excited to be here. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
20 years you've been working on this film. What does it feel like for people to actually now start to be able to see it?
Well, I'm really nervous about this particular screening because obviously it's based on a book that took place in Chicago. This is the first time I've shown it in Chicago, so I'm a little nervous, to be honest. But I'm excited. I'm more excited than I am nervous.
Because there's a lot of talk about the Hells Angels, but the Chicago Outlaws maybe don't get the same kind of like national recognition. Tell me a little bit about them and making this this film.
Well, Danny Lyon was in his early 20s when he was living in Chicago and looking for an outsider group, to photograph. He photographed this motorcycle club, which at the time was the Chicago Outlaws, which was more at the time a regional club. They grew to be the second largest, motorcycle gang in the world. That's something I think Danny didn't really anticipate. For me, I really was just inspired by the idea that you could have this regional club. That the reasons for it originally forming was it was a social club. These were friends. These were working class guys, and it wasn't until over the course of the 60s and into the early 70s that turns into something else. Now, of course, we're not making a film about the Chicago Outlaws. We're making a fictionalized story inspired by these photographs. Because out of deference to them, we didn't want to use their patch. We didn't want to step on their toes, and and hopefully people walk away with a sense of kind of what this early motorcycle world felt like.
Austin Butler, we got to see what he did with the Elvis role. Tell me a little bit about his process in becoming the role of Benny.
Yeah, he just had to learn how to ride because he lied to me in the audition. Well, he actually didn't audition. It was just a meeting. But I was like, you ride? He was like, yeah, I've been on some bikes. That wasn't true. So he actually immediately started riding. And then we got him in early, and he started to learn how to ride these bikes because they're period correct, and they're really difficult to ride. So he threw himself, into this just the same way he threw himself into Elvis. There wasn't as much to do. There wasn't as much work he had to do in order to play Benny, but he certainly was committed to it.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then final thing, you started writing because of the movie. So you didn't write beforehand. You started writing.
I started writing when I started writing the film, okay. And mainly because I felt like I would be just a total fraud if I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. So I got my license, and I've been riding ever since, probably about 6 years now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
Thank you.